Hello everybody, today we're going to be taking a look at the AMX 50B. When I first got this tank way back when, it was my favorite for a long time, and that was back when it had a 3-shot gun. Once they gave it the 4-shot gun, I consider this a nerf now that it does 380 damage per shot. A lot of the times it'll be doing 290 to like 350-ish, and people consider it a buff because it has a higher clip potential. It's over 1600, which is absolutely crazy. I still struggle to hit all 4 of the shots sometimes, and the gun handling seems worse to me. The way I'm running it, I get a 3-second aim time with .285 accuracy, so the gun handling isn't technically bad, but I think the issue with it is that when you're not fully aimed, the dispersion value is higher than other tanks that are not fully aimed. Basically what I mean by that is if you don't fully aim this tank, you're not going to get close to that .285 accuracy and you're going to miss a lot of shots. And unfortunately, if you miss 2 out of your 4 shots, now your clip is down to around 700 damage and you have to wait 23 seconds to reload it. So it's pretty bad if you miss the shots, and you have to be really careful and aim quite well to make sure you take advantage of your full clip. Otherwise your DPM is going to be cut in half. That actually ended up completely changing the playstyle of the tank for me from what I played before with the 3-shot gun. Previously, you could really punish people for making mistakes, poking out when they shouldn't, and stuff like that. Take 3 quick shots and pretty much guarantee hits. This gun, you have to really find where the enemy is going to end up, set yourself up, pre-aim them, and be ready for them to poke out. It's a much more strategic playstyle than before. Because of this, I end up playing this tank like a really big medium with no armor and a really high clip potential. For me, this puts this tank in a perfect position. It puts it between the T57 Heavy and the FV4005. The FV4005's gun is far better. You do more damage per clip, I believe. You're going to hit more of your shots, you're going to aim faster, and you get the inner clip boost consumable. As everybody knows, though, the 4005 has literally no armor on it, and you can get HE'd by anything. So if you make one wrong mistake in that, you're going to be taking a huge amount of damage. In addition to that, its mobility isn't as good as the 50B. It's pretty quick in a straight line, and when you activate that super speed boost, you go really fast, but that's only for 25-30 seconds, whatever it is. Once that speed boost is done, your top speed is low while your acceleration is good, and your traverse speed is much worse than the 50Bs, which makes this tank much better at rotating and reacting to situations like this where I see a 183 and a Leopard 1 coming up behind us. The 4005 is also considerably taller than the 50B, and that's really saying something because the 50B is a very tall tank. Now, the 50B does get 10 degrees of gun depression, which is really useful because you can use a lot of ridge lines, and since you are smaller than the 4005, you can hide behind cover that you can't in the 4005. And that leads me to the T57 Heavy, the other tier 10 heavy autoloader. I know the 4005 is a tank destroyer, but I think it fits this category pretty well. For raw damage output, the T57 is far better than the 50B as well. It has 3 shots with a 2.5 inner clip that do 400 damage each. You only need to land 2 of those, and your full clip reload is much shorter than the 50B. For holding heavy side, it is an absolutely very effective tank. You get 8 degrees of gun depression, really solid turret armor, pretty bad hull armor, but your damage output is absolutely unmatched. Not to mention, the T57's gun also seems much more accurate and better while you don't fully aim it to me. It also doesn't have this 360 alpha that low rolls all the time, so I just like the way the gun plays for me. Other people might have different experiences and prefer the 50B's gun, but for how I play, I really prefer the T57's gun to the 50B. I've just named 2 tanks that are better than the 50B in their own play styles, but the 50B has its own place, kind of like the tier 8 comparison I did with the Ferdinand and the Jagdtiger 88. This tank bridges a gap between the 4005 and the 57 Heavy, and it actually feels really good in that place. It's a very solid tank when you play it right. Because of the nature of the tank, you're going to have to be able to figure out whether or not you need to go medium side or heavy side on the map, and that could change battle by battle and minute by minute. You might need to rotate all the way back from heavy side to medium side through mid. You need to really be moving around the map, and it's important to keep speed boost on this vehicle for that reason. Very, very easy to kill in this tank, so if you get caught out for any reason, you're going to lose a lot of hit points very fast. If you manage to stay out of the enemy's line of fire though, and you're creating crossfires all the time and positioning where you should be, you're going to do really well. You're going to have this really good damage output that's up to 1600. Even if you don't land all 4 shots, you're really going to end up hurting enemy tanks. One thing that I actually do like about the 4 shots, since I've been saying all the reasons that I don't like it, is that there is a crew skill where if you hit 4 shots in a row, you get a certain percent chance of max rolling, and I have that crew skill, I don't know if it's maxed out, but I have it pretty high, so a lot of the clips, if I land all 4 of the shots, or I do 3 shots, and then the first shot of the next clip, I'll do 475 max rolls, so it kind of makes up for the low damage that this tank sometimes puts out. In this second game, I'm playing with my friend Tanky, and we're playing against a 183 platoon. We're going up to this position so I can get initial spots across mid and potentially shoot the heavy tanks that are down to my left. Their enemy WZ-132A actually makes a really good play and goes to the spotting bush, which forces me to back down from this position. If I stay up there, I am really solidly in a crossfire, and if I stay for too long, the enemy heavies could start to do something about it. So instead I drop down. I notice this E5 is overextended, and I'm going to take advantage of that, but I'm not going to try to dump the whole clip at once. I'm going to wait for the enemies to get distracted, back up, and then wait for them to shoot and peek out again. Downfall of the 4 shots for a lot of inexperienced players is trying to get all 4 of the shots out at once. You kind of have to space out your clip, which is something you didn't have to do with a 3-shot gun. I actually had to learn that for myself as well because I wasn't used to the 4 shots. That's not something you need to do with the 4005 because of its inner clip boost and its higher alpha damage, and it's not something you need to do with the 57 Heavy because the 57 Heavy only has 3 shots with a much quicker inner clip. Now you can see me dump a whole clip with an engine fire now that the once WZ-132A is distracted and no longer in that position, I can retake it. And this is what I mean, you need to be moving around the map. I initially went to that spot, but I was pushed off of it, and I moved around. The 777 thought that I was safe, or he was safe from that position, but as soon as I noticed that 132A isn't pressuring that spot anymore, I'm going to take it right back because I have the mobility to go in and out of positions like that. And because the 777 thought he was safe from that spot, I was able to catch him out and really punish him with this massive clip damage. Now this Object 752 is just altogether in a bad position looking at our whole team's lineup. So this wasn't anything special, but how quickly I got here and was able to put out that clip before anyone else got there. You're going to get extra damage in this tank just because of its speed, its mobility, your ability to react to situations like that. Here I'm about to take a huge risk with the 183. I always do this. I put it in my videos. I always say that I don't recommend it, and one day it's going to bite me in the ass. But if you point your track at them, a lot of times they hit your track. He ended up hitting the track. I get the clip into him, and we get this player out of the game. Now, while I was clipping out, I got shot by the 132A again, so I'm going to go safe from him, and then look at his position for a second to see if he peeks out and I can get a shot into him. Once I notice he's not, I'm going to reload that clip because the last thing I want is for him to come around the map. I only have 1 shot. I hit him with that 1 shot and then he rushes me and he would be able to kill me before I reload. So you also have to know when to reload, but that's standard, but like across any autoloader tank at any tier. Once I noticed the 132A actually went to help his teammates, which is a really good play. That's the thing that he should have done. I'm going to pop the speed boost and try to get over there as quickly as I can. This game is clearly going to be a win unless their chieftain gets ammo racked or something, but I want to get as much damage out of it as I can. In conclusion here, I give the 50B a pretty positive review. It's got a sort of heavy clipper playstyle, which is something it didn't have before, and I'm glad it has now. It's a new style for me. I didn't try it directly after they changed it. I tried it maybe 1 or 2 times and just put it down because it wasn't the same. It's not the same, but it's probably for the better because it was a little broken before, and now it's something different, not something overpowered. I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay, and if you've been struggling with this tank, just keep trying. Be careful, look at the map, pay really close attention to your positioning and all that. It's very important to know what's going on, where the crossfires are going to be, and where you could possibly set one up further along in the battle. This whole game is pretty much 90% positioning and 10% mechanical skill, but this tank takes it to another level. You're going to have to be way more map knowledgeable and situation reactive than you are with other tanks, just because if you're caught out, you've only got 4 shots and then you have to wait 22 seconds, and you're a huge target that can be HE'd. I hope the guy that requested this learned something and helped him out. If you guys want me to play a tank, let me know in the comments. Feel free to join my Discord as well. That'll be linked in the description. It's the easiest way to talk to me, request tanks, talk about tanks, and so on. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And thanks for watching to the end.